Hello and welcome to Student Voice. I'm Sam Weathers. Most college students realize that grades are important, but many struggle to turn in their assignments or have anxiety when it comes to testing. What habits can students develop to get through these challenges? Habits that will hopefully continue to serve them in their career. With us to discuss are some students from our College Success Digital Media class. Let's go around the table and say our names. I'm Sam Weathers.
My name's Camilla Romo.
I'm Landon Merciers.
I'm Kelly Graves, actually the instructor.
And I'm Sierra Walker.
Alrighty. Today we're going to have some questions about college test-taking skills. Starting off with you, what are some of the classes that you struggle with the most in?
Some of the classes that I struggle in the most in are definitely biology, which I've struggled in the past, and intro to math.
It's understandable.
Right.
Math is always a hard subject for most people.
Definitely.
What about you?
I struggle more with reading and writing. It's just hard to understand like some of the words and like long sentences, and then especially poems when they're getting a little too deep into it. It's a little struggle for me.
So I guess when I was working on my graduate degree, statistical analysis was quite a struggle, and so that would be that was in 2020, so not too long ago.
Yeah. What about you?
I would just say anything that has to do with math and numbers. Oh God, give me a math problem and
fair.
my head is scrambling like an egg.
So consecutively here, we're all kind of against numbers, I would say.
Yes.
Okay. What have you learned in this class, College Success, that can help you with these struggles?
I think something that I've learned is very much time management. Throughout high school, I was very dependent on doing everything at the last second, and so now I know some ways with setting alarms to just writing down what you need to do in order, from keeping yourself aligned
Yeah.
through different subjects of what class you're taking. Definitely looking at your calendar, so all of those things to keep you on track.
Fair enough. More to alliterate on what she's like saying, like staying on top of your classes more or less, because teachers aren't going to always be there to like say, hey, you got this due, hey, you got this due. It's just staying on top of things. And then also, more recently, I've started to do like more note taking and like being able to write down notes to keep myself focused during class, and then also just keeping it so if I need to relearn something later on.
Right. It's always good to have notes taken. That way, if you ever mess up on anything, you have something to backtrack on.
Right.
What about you?
I found that for that particular class that I like to listen to classical music in the background because it's kind of soothing. I also read the entire textbook, which sounds super nerdy. But on the notes, that's just what I had to do. You wouldn't think of really reading a math textbook, but I did have to do that. There's a lot of definitions. And so on the side of my paper, I would write the page number down of where the definitions were, the particular formulas, so that I could easily go back and reference that as well.
Right.
But the music was surprisingly helpful. In my other classes, I could have, sounds with music with words, but not in that one. It had to just be the classical.
We were having a conversation about this where some music, I can listen to music in some classes and be able to do the work just fine, but other classes it's just too much and I just can't. Classical music, you can't go wrong. What about you?
I've learned to just ask questions and just prepare myself for the test or quiz, whatever it's coming up. And also we learned the 25-5 rule, like just study for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. So I found that very useful and helpful.
Yes.
I also think that was a really cool tactic that was taught to us, because I never really thought about taking, having a set time and then taking a break, especially 5 breaks while doing homework. I would assume myself would get sidetracked, but I don't know, it's something that's at least something to think about. What are some of the most effective things that help you study, focus, or just get things done?
The most effective things are definitely setting alarms, setting your own time for individual things. For example, for a specific class, or if you have to do something. Definitely for me, for my ADHD, I want to start on something and then I get sidetracked with something else. So be consistent with what you want to do and when you want to do it, so you don't focus on something else to go to another thing, to go to other things. So very important.
I just like setting like a good study area, just having limited distractions and being able to like just listen to music and then just work on stuff without distractions of like TV, phone, other people, parents, all that different kind of other stuff. So I usually use like the library and I just sit down and just do work. It's always the best for me.
Then that makes sense. It's always good to have a quiet environment and to be able to level yourself out in order to be able to get solid work done.
Just to, we have to just get things done. There's not like a magical, answer to that. For me, I find the more I can get done here on campus, like for preparing to teach class or preparing, for doing advising or whatever I may need to do, the more I can get done here on the campus, the more successful I am. Because once you get home, there's distractions, there's other things you want to do. So, if I were taking classes, definitely like go do them in the math lab, in the reading lab, or the writing center, in the library, like you were saying, just to get as much done here. And then there's resources. So say I'm preparing for this class, if I'm doing it here while I'm on campus and want to ask Chris something about the media, well, right here I've got him available. So.
Yep.
Right.
That makes sense.
Just preparing yourself, like Miss Kelly said, just use your resources, try to get as much done, like as a class or someone that has work to do as well, just find a study partner or something, just prepare yourself.
I agree with probably all of these, but I think a point that I wanted to make, I think you kind of had the same idea, but keeping a positive attitude makes all the difference in the world while you're doing work. If you go into work and you're like, man, I don't want to do this, then you're probably not going to do most of it. But for the last question, what would you say is your motivation for being in college?
I think my motivation for being in college is knowing that not a lot of people get to be in college, first of all. Growing up, I've had to be surrounded by all these people that they couldn't make it, or mentally they've been struggling, and everybody has their own situations in life, but I think I'm just kind of glad that I'm being here. I think my family, definitely, especially when you can push yourself and be optimistic, like Miss Kelly said, and if you can just keep on, helpful.
Makes sense.
Definitely.
I'm just always wanting to pursue my dreams. I feel like my whole goal in life is just to keep pursuing my dreams, and college is something I need as a stepping stone to get to where I want to be in the future. And then it's also just very important because on one side of my family, we never really had college much of anything. And then on my other side of the family, I had all people that came to college. So I had like the want to be different for my one side of my family and the want to surpass my other side of the family and go to college and be like, get something big.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that completely.
Well, I work at the college because I really want to help people. I mean, that's exactly why I'm here. So I teach the class because I feel like I've had a lot of different experiences that I can share, like really raw stories and real stories to help you guys see there's options and opportunities, just like being here. We have an opportunity to be in a TV studio and make a show. I mean, there's so many opportunities. And then being an academic advisor, I get to, help students all the time. And so I just really sounds corny, I guess, but I really love to help people.
And being an advisor helps more one-on-one with each student, so that makes sense.
What motivates me to be in college is just breaking family chains and cycles and just wanting a change, so you can't just let it fall in your lap. So I'm going to be the change. The world needs me, so I'm here to do better for myself.
I'm right there with you. My mother went to college, but she never finished it, so I am technically first generation college student of my family since probably my great-grandfather, so pretty good, yeah. But anyways, I think that is it for our episode of Student Voice. If you need any help with any of your struggles during our time here at Chattanooga State, check out student resources available to you through the Student Support Center, IMC 124. Have a great day, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, man.